Today we're going to recap a 2024 movie titled Land of Bad. But before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. The movie opens with a soldier named Kenny, who is torn between two boxes of cereal when his superior officer Sugar interrupts him. Sugar orders him to board the helicopter for an upcoming mission, sending Kenny into a panic by warning him that they'll be jumping out of the helicopter. The chopper is headed to a Filipino island to rescue a CIA operative who has been captured while gathering intelligence on a Russian arms dealer. Nervous, Kenny bombards the team with pointless questions, causing them to urge him to relax. Back at the base, Eddie is watching college basketball when Nia walks in and directs him to the control room. Upset about a coffee situation, Eddie receives a call from his pregnant wife, asking him to prepare for their baby's arrival. As the helicopter nears its landing zone, the team realizes that this is only Kenny's second mission. They warn him that things will get tough and remind him he needs to keep up. As the light turns red, they prepare to jump. Kenny, trembling with fear, struggles to deploy his parachute but manages just in time. They land on the beach and head toward their target site. Meanwhile, Eddie and Nia are ready to provide drone support from the base. Eddie sends the drone on its way and the team moves quietly through the jungle, sending their location back to Eddie. Kenny, nervous, admits he is there by mistake and doesn't have the proper credentials for the mission. The team, especially Bishop, is frustrated with Kenny, who believes drones and machines are superior in warfare. Bishop counters, saying people are dying no matter the method. Suddenly, Abel spots something in the distance and informs Eddie, but the drone's camera malfunctions, leaving the soldiers to proceed without it. They take their positions only to discover it's just a wild pig. Reaching their destination, they spot several guards protecting a large tent. They spread out, preparing to attack. Kenny sets up his rifle atop a small bunker, surveys the enemy base, and notes the various positions. He spots the Russian arms dealer Pro, and the team confirms the identification. Everything seems calm until trucks full of armed men arrive. As the convoy crosses a bridge, they realize they're led by Hashimi, throwing a wrench into their plans. Meanwhile, Eddie relaxes playing golf until he's called back to the control room. The drone is fixed and he receives new coordinates from Kenny, confirming their position. Eddie watches the meeting, sensing something is off. Their suspicions are confirmed when Hashimi shoots Pro and kills everyone, following orders not to engage. When Hashimi attempts to kill Pro's son, Eddie launches a drone missile, but it won't arrive in time. The team shoots Hashimi in the leg, and the missile blows up the compound. Kenny, now close to the enemy soldiers, must remain silent as the rest of the team takes down the soldiers. A grenade lands among them, sparking a fierce shootout. They scramble for cover, and Abel gets shot, but Kenny saves him. However, it's too late for Abel. Sugar and Bishop are pinned down by RPGs. Kenny locates the truck with the RPGs and instructs Eddie to target it. But before the missile hits, the RPGs strike Sugar and Bishop. With the truck destroyed, Kenny is left alone, taking fire from machine guns. He runs into the trees for cover but can't communicate with Eddie or the team. Eddie finally reaches Kenny, informing him that the rest of the team is gone and they need to extract him. The area ahead is filled with hostiles, so Eddie reassures Kenny that a helicopter is on its way and tells him to keep moving through the jungle. Exhausted and alone, Kenny hears a truck approaching. He hides beneath a tree by the river as the truck passes with their horses. A dog nearly discovers him, but the dog moves on, allowing Kenny to relax. As it grows dark, Kenny continues his trek. Eddie talks to him to keep him distracted, sharing college stories. As night falls, Kenny asks about the helicopter. Eddie tells him it's very close. Kenny moves through the grass, waiting for the helicopter to arrive. As it lands, Kenny rushes toward it but is shot by enemy soldiers. They fire from multiple directions, and the helicopter returns fire but has to retreat when an RPG is launched at them. More soldiers arrive, leaving Kenny stranded in the firefight. Eddie sends a missile to eliminate a large group, but more enemies keep coming. Kenny finds cover, and a jet arrives, launching 2 missiles that devastate the enemy line. Yet some enemies remain. The jet makes another pass, shooting dangerously close to Kenny, but he survives. By morning, Kenny continues walking to the next extraction point. Eddie talks to him about how things sometimes change. Kenny, curious, asks about Eddie's 3 ex-wives and 8 kids. Eddie explains that he's in this position because of something he said to a superior officer, leading to him being removed from flying fighter jets. Suddenly, Kenny trips and falls into a river. 3 hostile soldiers approach, and he shoots one before running down the river, pursued by the others. With no other option, he jumps into a waterfall, and hides beneath it. As he emerges, he's captured. Kenny is tortured, while a mysterious figure arrives at the compound, killing 2 guards and rescuing him. It's Sugar, who unties Kenny, gives him water, and tells him Bishop is alive but also captured. They gather weapons and prepare for their fight in the jungle. Using a water bottle, Kenny creates an antenna and contacts Eddie, informing him they're heading to the initial mission location to rescue Bishop at P's house. Sugar and Kenny devise a plan, and Eddie secures a bomber plane. However, due to exhaustion, the colonel orders Eddie to leave the mission, even though Eddie protests. In the jungle, Kenny and Sugar approach the enemy base. They eliminate a few soldiers before sneaking into a house where 2 men are watching football. Sugar silently takes one down, and with Kenny's help, they overcome the other. A terrorist enters and opens fire, but his gun jams, allowing them to tackle him through a window and shoot at soldiers on a truck. Continuing their mission, they encounter more soldiers and Sugar is shot. Kenny drags him to safety but is forced to fight another soldier. They're saved when Sugar, nearly dying, throws a grenade. They wake up in cages, beaten and bloody, and find Bishop imprisoned as well. Despite his condition, Sugar remains defiant. Kenny warns of incoming bombs, but they ignore him. The terrorists set up a camera, and as Sugar weakens, Kenny reassures him. But then Sugar is shot in the head by Hashimi. Unaware of the impending bomb strike, Eddie is at a parking lot. Kenny is tortured while Eddie shops for groceries. Hashimi shares a story about their fight against the West, but Kenny insists they should focus on the bombs. Unconvinced, Hashimi tortures Kenny further, even though Kenny insists there are no other soldiers. Hashimi admits that his brutality has cost him his morality. As the bombs near, they hit the building in a massive explosion. But Kenny survives. He scrambles to find a way out before the next strike, finding a weapon and navigating through a collapsed hallway. He discovers the CIA agent they came to rescue and carries him out. After finding Hashimi alive next to Bishop, Kenny kills him and frees Bishop. With only 5 minutes remaining, they race against time. Kenny tries to contact the command center but struggles to get a signal. Meanwhile, the soldiers at the base are distracted by basketball. Kenny reaches Eddie's number through the distraction. Eddie, who was talking to his wife, realizes the urgency of the situation from the voicemail and rushes to the base, aborting the bombs just in time, saving Kenny and the others. Furious at the soldiers' negligence, Eddie smashes the TV to make sure they stay focused. The movie ends with Kenny, Eddie, and the others on a helicopter, finally headed home after their harrowing ordeal. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.